All right, let me take some of these comments. Thank y'all for joining, I think. Easy says, see, I called it, kept saying that Sean Lewis was a plant. Everybody thought I was conspiracy theorist. Thank you, Easy. I've been saying that too since the beginning of the season. Horace says, find somebody else to talk about. Horace, find somewhere else to be. How about that? Clyde says, I too saw those unprotected rushes. In fact, those two allowed Stanford to do the same. Okay, Clyde. Because see, I didn't see it until this game when it kept being rewounded in my face. And I was like, wait a minute. These guys not even blocking. So I go back and try to find the whole game, but I can only find, 2 or 3 instances. But that's enough to show you that somebody is allowing these pass straight to Shedeur. Somebody was allowing it. And again, the mole is not just in the coaching staff, it's on the field as well. Yo Creole says, I disagree with you when it comes to Alton McCaskill because Trey Sanders with TCU got injured in his first game. Red shirting Alton is the best thing for him because our O-line will be better next year. Yo Creole, I agree with that. I don't know what you're disagreeing with me about. I agree with his red shirting. That was a smart thing to do. Yo Creole says, the one thing that I admire about CP is he is always putting players first. All right. Yo Creole, thank you for saying that. We think Coach Prime puts players first. And I would say he does. However, when it comes to his son being out there and being sacked so many times, that don't and refusing to implement a running game, that doesn't seem like you putting Shedeur first. When you know a running game, not having a running game, and he keeps saying, oh, it makes us one-dimensional. If you know it makes you one-dimensional, stop being one-dimensional. Run the ball. Dunny says the unraveling begins. I'm going to tell you what, Dunny. The unraveling happened with Stanford in that second half. But the fact that Coach Prime has stepped up and moved that coach out of the way, because that was one of my issues, is that he kept making excuses for the coaches. It's like, people say, oh, he held the coaches accountable. He said, well, the coaches are accountable too. But he didn't say we're going to replace the coaches like he did with the offensive line. He didn't say, oh, we're going to replace. No, he didn't say that. But now the fact that he's replaced them, well, things are looking up. Things are looking up because we know that he's not, he might not be insane. Because if he continues to try and work with this staff that, or whoever these coaches are that are clearly insane, I'm saying it, they insane. You continue to let them call the plays that are causing issues to your son, your number 1 MVP on the field, there's a problem. I don't know if you're taking everybody into consideration. I don't know. But yeah, we think he does, but Shedeur shouldn't have been hurt like that. Shedeur shouldn't have been sacked like that. There should have been something done after that, after the first game where he was sacked so many times. Now you're talking, I've been saying they're letting those guys in to hit Shedeur on purpose. Okay. Thank you, Miss Jules. Yeah. But if they run the ball, how will QB get Heisman? Hey, thank you for that, Frosting. Let's make this clear. When you run the ball, it only gives Shedeur more time to throw. If you're not running the ball, he's not going to get a Heisman. He's going to get a hernia. He's going to get a crook in his neck. He's going to get a bent up spinal cord. That's what he's going to get if you don't run the ball. Why? Because everybody is simply rushing. Because Coach Prime and everybody else has told the whole world that the offensive line is no good. Well, everybody knows it. And then you telling the whole world, I'm not going to run it. Well, that's easy. That's easy to shut Shedeur down. So why you run the ball is such that at least the defense, see, if you can't get your offense to block, at least get the defense to stop rushing a little bit. If you can't get this offense, because you know the offensive line, they standing there pretending like, oh, I'm on. Okay. But at least get the defensive line to not just rush them. That's the least you could do. And how do you do that? You do that with a run. You can't be one-dimensional and project it to the whole world. Okay, we're not going to run, and the offensive line sucks, and then Shedeur's going to just be trying to throw it all the time. Oh, that's easy. Grandmama and them could come down there and take over that line with that. Grandmama, auntie and them, I just get them on the line. They could take Shedeur out too. If you are telling me you're not going to run it and your offensive line sucks. That's easy. So that's why you run. And when you run, then that gives Shedeur time enough to throw, and he's going to get the Heisman. And he's not going to get the Heisman if they don't win. He's not going to get the Heisman if he's sitting in a darn ambulance after he's been pulled off the field. The Alpha Wolf says they have to start giving number 3 more screens. Let me say this to you. Again, we love Dylan Edwards. But you got 2 running backs, or you had 2, because Alton McCaskill's like, no, I'm good for this season. I ain't going, if I was Alton McCaskill, I'd say the same thing. You know why? Because he just upset the offensive line. And I know he said, you know what, I had to talk to him. Everything's going to be good. I wouldn't trust that offensive line. They already showed you who they are. When somebody tells you who they are, believe them. Thank you, Maya Angelou. They already told you we're not blocking. They already told you they sorry. Why would you expect them to do something that's outside of who they told you they were? All right. So I would say you got Hankerson, who's been a workhorse, but they won't give him the ball. And then when they do give him the ball, they give him why would you not put him in motion? Why would you, that lame running play they did, and they were like, the running game don't work. Let's take him out. I just showed you evidence where in this same game, McCaskill got 13, Hankerson got 15. 2 times out of 3, they gonna break for at least 7 to 8 yards, 2 out of 3 times. But then when Shedeur goes back to throw, and the whole world knows that he's getting ready to throw, well, 9 times out of 10, he gonna get sacked or hit. Okay. You want the Heisman, run the ball. The reason Coach Prime didn't throw the referees underneath the bus is because we are leaving the Big 12. Yo, Creole, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Because if I'm leaving the Big 12, that's like you leaving your job. All right, you leaving your job. You don't have to, and you hated the boss. You hated the boss. I ain't giving the boss no compliment. I'm out of here. You suck. Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to be nice to the boss. You telling me they leaving that. If you telling me he didn't throw the referees under the bus because he don't want that smoke from the referees when they get back on the field. Oh, because they got a brotherhood too. The referees got their own brotherhood. The coaches got their own brotherhood. Everybody got their own brotherhood. So you better not throw that brotherhood under the bus. Otherwise, they coming at you in that next game. That's the same thing with this offensive line. You think they in a brotherhood? All of them on strike. All of them on strike. We won't block. We hate it. When they walked into the Rose Bowl, they should have grabbed the sign. Because that's exactly what they was doing on that field. They was picketing. Acting like they blocking, but no, we picketing. We won't block. Here you go. You looking for us to do it? He right back there. Yeah. If I'm leaving and I know I don't have any good vibes for you, I'm not going to give you compliments. He didn't even have to say all that he said about the refs. Oh, they're the best refs in the whole conference. Really? Get out of here. They missed more calls than a little bit. If the offensive O-line is so bad, how are they in the top 5 in passing? Frosting. Listen, that is only because of Shedeur. That is only because of Shedeur. Because of the simple fact that they again, let's remember, these guys are not as bad as what they seem. They are just on strike. And we didn't know they were on strike. They were unhappy, and they should have told somebody because we didn't know. They unhappy. So with all that being said, it's been because of Shedeur and not trying to diss. Well, yeah, I'm dissing the offensive line. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Not only have they been playing poorly, but what we're seeing now is that they haven't been playing at all. They have been purposely sabotaging the game. So, Miss Jules says, you're telling the truth. Thank you, Miss Jules. The reason we continue to pass is because Shedeur is competing against USC, Washington QB for most passing yards. Shedeur is going up against a Heisman and undefeated team for QB awards. Yo, Creole, let me ask you a question. Do they give the Heisman to losing teams? Do they give the Heisman to players who are on losing teams? Like, they give the Heisman to MVPs. You're not going to be a losing team and you are under 500 and get a Heisman, are you? So if that's the case, then you better off running it so that you can have time to throw, especially when you know you do not have a good offensive line. So I don't understand what you're saying. And he's going up against such and such and such. He's going up against a whole nother team. You're trying to act like, oh, it's Shedeur against Caleb. No, it's CU against USC, CU against Stanford. It's CU against this team. And then this is why I'm saying to Shedeur, get your running backs in order and get some plays, because somebody is not calling the plays that's going to allow you to succeed. Whoever that was, Sean or whoever, they weren't calling plays. Not only did those plays not allow you to succeed, those plays were getting you hurt and possibly benched and put out for the whole year and possibly part of next year. You're not going to get no Heisman when your leg's not working. Run the ball. CP gave the OC plenty opportunity to fix his mess, but enough is enough. Thank you, Phil X. Let me go in on this because you keep talking about the offensive line. And yeah, the offensive line, we've learned that they haven't really been playing. But whose fault is that, though? If you know the offensive line is not blocking, where's the coaching to change up the play? Why would you keep doing things that you know put pressure on the offensive line? This is what I'm saying. Everybody want to blame the offensive line. We knew they weren't blocking since game one. We knew since game one they weren't blocking. Why would you not switch it up and take pressure off of them? That is coaching. I know you suck. I'm not going to depend on you no more. Let me get 2 backs back here behind Shedeur. I'm going to get 2. You got a whole running back room you're not using. And then again, let me say this, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. As far as we know, they could be moles too, and Coach Prime found out and just didn't want to put them in. Who knows? What we do know is that they refused to put 2 backs back there to protect Shedeur. That's the least you could have done. Then you did it for 2 plays after the second half, and then you went right back to empty backfield. I don't get it. So this is a coaching issue as well. It's not just those running backs. Now, you can be terrible on the field, but if I'm a good coach, I'm ready to fix it. If I don't have any other O-line people in there, you know what I'm ready to do? How can I relieve the pressure on this O-line? Okay, well, I definitely can't do it by being one-dimensional. It don't make no sense. It doesn't add up. The talent he has is FSB talent, and they're too small. Okay, thank you, Alvin. I wouldn't say that they're too small. Okay, again, where is the coaching? If you got a mold, I'm going to say this, because this whole thing, everybody's, oh, we got these offensive linemen coming in next year, we got this one coming in next year. Have y'all given up on this year? Do y'all not remember there are 4 more games to play? Did y'all give up? And I'm saying to you, they're not too small, but it doesn't matter how big your offensive line is when you got moles in your organization that are purposely calling plays to damage your MVP, to take your most valuable player out the game. You can't win with that, regardless of who you got on the team. The reason you are going in a rant is because you were not there from the beginning. What is there from the beginning, Yo Creole? Coach Prime had a mediocre start at JSU, and then he dominated. Thank you, Yo Creole. Let me go in on this from the beginning. What is the beginning? Now, you know, when I first recognized Coach Prime, and when I became a fan of Coach Prime, I was living in Atlanta when he was drafted into the Atlanta Falcons. I saw him being successful when he was in Atlanta. He was a winner. And when he left, I was one of those people who was happy that he's left, because I knew he couldn't win in Atlanta. Atlanta did not have the ability to win at that time. Again, I don't know what they're doing now, because I don't even watch that team. But I knew he was a winner. Anytime he touched the ball, I saw Coach Prime throw. He threw for a touchdown. That he didn't make it, but I saw him quarterback in Atlanta. I was there. Now, I didn't know what he was doing in college, because I did not watch college football. I was a strictly pro football type person. But I saw him when he was playing, and we all knew he was a winner. We didn't care whether he played on offense or defense. We just wanted him to touch the ball, because he's a winner. And he brought people to the stands. But I knew he wasn't going to win with Atlanta. And when it was announced that he was leaving, I was very happy for him, because I knew he was about to get his rings. And he did just that. All right? What is the beginning? Because if we go back to it, when he was in Pop Warner and he was doing all these other things, he was winning. He was dominant. He went to Trinity. And Trinity, he was so dominant at Trinity. They kicked him out of the league. They kicked him, I think it was called TAPS. Because he was so dominant. They was like, well, you know, we're not going to accept your application for the next year. This was after they won 3 championships. After their 3rd championship, before they went to the championship game, they had gotten a notice from the league telling them, we're not allowing you back. Why? Because he was dominant. They were beating up on everybody, and they were getting all the trophies. It was like, okay, we need to let somebody else get a trophy, because y'all just too good. Kicked him out the league. Next thing you know, he's at JSU. And yes, the first season, it was a 500 season. I think they won 4 games out of, it was 4 or 5 or something to that effect. And so he had to replace the whole team, just like he did when he came to Colorado. So I was there. I'm on the rant because I'm seeing things, Yo Creole, that are beyond this little iceberg that y'all are seeing. There's all this stuff going on under here that has nothing to do with football. And it's very sad to me. I can't talk about it here. Those who know, know. So that's what's sad to me. That's where my rant comes from. Thank you for asking. Thank you for caring. I love you too. Miss Jules, Falcons still Miss Jules said Falcons still suck. All right. I guess. They never got to that point where they knew how to win. All right. Prime was also a quarterback in high school at FSU. Okay. So all I'm saying to you is I've been there. This rant goes beyond football. I want y'all to know I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for sharing in this. I'm just going through my TikTok, my YouTube people. I love y'all. Thank y'all for the love. And Alpha Wolf says, didn't they switch coordinators? They did. And they have to give number 3 more snaps as you're thinking. I say that they need to give Hankerson more snaps and let him push that defense back. Make them stop coming in and rushing him so much. What's going on with Smoke running back from the SEC? Okay, thank you. I want to say this because people say Coach Prime is playing the what they call it, favoritism ball and nepotism ball. And here's the thing. We know that his people, the people who Coach Prime, we know they're going to play. We know that they came to play and they show up. And maybe Coach Prime has seen that there are some people that are not there who really want to play. Maybe he's seen some moles. And so, if somebody is a mole and they're not truly there to make it happen, then when you work them real hard, that'll weed them out. That'll weed a mold out anytime when you work them real hard. Okay? So I don't know what's going on. I'm not saying about Smoke or who Smoke is. All I know is he hasn't seen the field yet. And we don't understand that. We don't know what's going on. There's a lot of players that haven't seen the field. And we don't know behind the scenes and what's going on. But I will say I have a better understanding of why there might be some people who he's like, I can't put you on the field. So I want y'all to know I'm going to get out of here. I really do love you. I thank you. I just needed to vent. I'm going to go and I'm going to pray. I'm going to talk to my spiritual guides and find out what they want me to do because, again, there are things that are going on that I see because I know. That's why I didn't even get back into sports for so long because I know. By the way, yeah, I used to have a sports television show. Okay, and ran it for 4 years. It was on ESPN2 and WB and some of the other channels. Yeah, syndicated. But I chose to get out of that because there are things going on that I can see that I cannot be a part of. But I want y'all to know I love you. We're going to be back maybe. I'll let you know. Put a thing up. But at this point, I want y'all to know, there's some things going on. And what's done in the dark will come to the light. I love you. I'm out. Diva Reed. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Maybe I'll see you again. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll see you again. Maybe I won't. I'm out. Diva Reed. Peace.